events that are coming up for the chamber. We planned them out for the year. There is one event for the 4th of July that we're still working on because we would like to have it at the pool, but we need to extend the hours. It's going to be like a community barbecue, free for everybody. So I'll go ahead and pass those around for you guys. Our Easter event was super fantastic. We did almost 20,000 eggs. There was a third of the eggs left over, so we donated those to the Head Start and the K-CAP program. We also had, I want to say, 9 K-CAP families sign up for shoes, and they all got a bunch of shoes. We still have a handful of shoes left over that were not picked up, but for our 4th of July taco event, we're going to have a table set up there. And then most likely anything extra will go to the community center. But we wanted to make sure that Head Start was taken care of, Cap K was taken care of, all the little babies. So much. And Heather's not here today because she's not feeling well. So it's just me. Voting does come around. So the nomination committee, Natalie is on the nomination committee. Juan is on the nominating committee. And so is Jesse. Nope, Jesse is not. Who is the third person? I think it's Liam. Sam. Yeah, no, not Lansgard. Ridley.
I don't know.
I don't have my like actual notebook. We went on vacation. We came back from vacation just for this, and then we're leaving again. So I don't have my whole notebook with me. So there are 3 seats open. The nominees, myself, Jesse, Carly, and pending Frank Vasquez for waste management. So we'll have the full nominations next month in May, and then June 1st is actual election day. Gene is not here because he's out of.
Hi everyone, Fallon Mitchell from the school district, Southern Kern Unified School District. I oversee our community schools grant and our parent community center. We have a couple of updates, but we're slowing down right now because we're getting to the end of the school year. So a lot of our class series that we've had, they're slowing down. We only have like 1 or 2 classes left of a couple of them, but we're planning our courses for next year. We have a survey out right now with the families, just trying to get a better idea of what times really work for them because we're going off of older information before, so most of our classes were in the evening. They're all open to the community. It's not just the parents who have students in the school district. They're open to community members. This year we had topics, financial literacy. We had partners with School First. They did a wonderful 4-part series on just like fraud and how to maintain your finances, things like that. We called it the Caregiver Education Series. We're going to change the name next year because a lot of parents were confused, not understanding that it was for everyone. We called it caregivers. We don't really like to use the word parent in schools because not everybody lives with a parent in school. But they were classes on different things like how to know the difference between an IEP, a 405 plan, or one of our classes was on dealing with difficult behaviors. We're really looking towards doing something for bullying. That's a big thing right now that's been brought up. We're starting a parent group with a lot of the parents so we can have like a steering committee so we know more of what's going on with the students. We also started the Student Voice Ambassador program at the high school. So it's a group of students that are, all the students in that program have overcome some obstacles in life and they are kind of a voice for the students. Less of the ASB route where they plan events and things like that and more of like really talking to the students and seeing what their needs are. And then we're going into our reporting period for the grant that we have. But the Parent Center is still open. We have books as usual, and we have computers for parents to use. We always have coffee, snacks, things like that. Anybody just wants to come in for quiet space. And then our resources. We have resources where we can give you information. Then we also still have backpacks for the students, hygiene kits. We have some diapers left, and those we kind of do on like a week-to-week basis. And then we're working on building up our clothing and our food. We really want to do non-perishable food boxes. But the thing is, with the school funding is very interesting in the way it works, and this grant is wonderful. It's seed money, so we can build partnerships, but we are not allowed to buy actual like food or clothing. So we're looking for donations, which would be wonderful, or a partnership with somebody just to figure out a sustainable way to keep food boxes available. Because our town, our school district, we're 82% uneducated, which means 82% of our students fall into a marginalized category, and a lot of it is socioeconomic need. So that being said, last thing I will say on a community standpoint, because I am seeing what's going on with the community queens, and I know their pageant is coming up, and that is on the 26th. I want to say, just from working with them this year and having my daughter involved and seeing what these girls actually do, I was kind of against the pageant idea in the beginning, not knowing that this pageant specifically is called a scholarship pageant for a reason. The girls aren't going up for beauty, they're going up for civic engagement. And all year long, they pour their hearts and souls. And let me tell you, it's like every weekend there's some sort of event, they're organizing and they're giving back to the community. Somebody loses a family member and they rally together and get baskets donated. Well, every year these girls get a very small scholarship at their outgoing pageant. This year there was not enough funds with the way that things are and the cost of going into the AV pageants, because they have to pay dues for things like that. So with people coming in late and they're not making as many girls this year, they're not receiving a scholarship payment. So if there are any companies that would like to give, I know I've talked to a few of you individually, and these aren't big, I'm not talking like thousands of dollars. Last year I think their scholarship was $100. And it's just, they appreciate anything, they don't really expect it, but they really deserve it because they show up. And I know you guys see them at the event. So that's just on the community side of it, from them coming to my events too that I've done through the district and putting in that work. So if anyone's interested, let me know. We have a short amount of time still, but selling. But yeah, so that's it for me. Again, I have our flyers like usual for the Parent Center, and then obviously I'll update you guys with anything that's going on. Thank you. I try not to be long-winded, I swear, and all of it was full.
Joel McKay, RMAC. We've had a busy month. A lot of stuff going on. The supervisor was out last week on a meet and greet with the girls basketball team, talking to the community. He'll be at our meeting tonight. We're going to honor two former Rosamond High School graduates. Kind of wanted to show the community that coming from a small town, that if you work hard and reach your goals, you can still make something of yourself. They both became CHP officers, so Vince Vong's area representative is going to be there. Somebody Lackey will be there in person, and Supervisor Parlay will also be there to present them with certificates of achievement for their outstanding achievement of getting out of high school here in Rosamond and becoming a CHP officer to get through the academy, which is no small freight. And then yesterday, I took on another role. I am part of the Keep Kern Beautiful committee. So we had our first meeting. We're going to be hosting a town cleanup event May 17th on Sierra Highway. And the supervisor, he said he'd be showing up for that. So it'll be roughly right now, we're going to be putting out a flyer from maybe 8 to 10 for a couple hours. It's cleaning up from the corner of Sierra Highway and Rosamond Boulevard as far down as we can go. It's pretty messy right now. I do need lots of volunteers. And then yesterday I got an email. Nick Cullen, the animal control, showed up at the meet and greet. So I reached out to him and said, "Hey, can we get the snip van here in Rosamond?" And so we were originally, we're still looking at another date at the end of May, but he sent out an email saying, "Hey, I had this last minute date for next week pop up," and it filled up within hours. So we got like 33 dogs and cats going to be sniffed yesterday. So, and then just something to think about. Another project we're working on with the postmaster. She has 10 community mailboxes that are theft-proof that she's willing to have installed in the community. We just got to pour the foundation. So if anybody has any ideas on anybody who does that kind of work, if we can get the foundations poured for them, she'll install them. So, and then our meeting tonight is going to be at 6:30 instead of 6. Special meeting. One of the presenters had a scheduling conflict, so they asked us if we could push back. And so we're going to be at 6:30 tonight at Humble Hall.
Judge Howard McArdle, retired, Rosamond Hills. It's a low-income apartment right across the street for seniors, and
Yeah. And it was really started by community people, because I'm involved in that too. I'm Gretchen Winfrey. I'm here with the Kern Antelope Historical Society. And you know, we are really looking for a place where we can have a museum, because there is so much incredible history in this area. Jesse's son has been helping me go through some boxes of things I was given that are in my barn that I had not had time to go through. And we found 2 envelopes that have a U.S. stamp on them from when they were experimenting with camels carrying the mail. And one of the little envelopes has a note on it that says, this envelope went from Fort Tejon to Los Angeles 9 hours faster than the mail went by automobile. We've got to have a place where we can display this. It is absolutely incredible. Anyway, keep your ears open. We're looking for a place because I have stuff in the barn that nobody can see.
I'm Lori with Antelope Valley Press. I do advertising. And we'll be announcing all of the Evie's Fest on Friday the 25th of April. It'll be in the newspaper.
So I'm Karen. I'm with the Kern County Board of Supervisors. I'm the East Kern rep for Chris Parlier, and he was here on last week on the 10th, and he'll be here again tonight at the RMAC meeting. And if you would like to speak with him, I encourage you to attend. There are lots of projects going on in the county, particularly in Rosamond. Some of them are a little ways down the road, but they're in the development phase or the contracting phase. So the county's trying its best. Chris is trying his best to really pay attention to what's going on here.
I'm going to stand up. So my name is Natalie Willis. I'm from Common Sense Consulting, but I represent HydroStore. So I don't know if you guys know this, but on Monday we had a virtual status conference with the California Energy Commission, which was as boring as it sounds. But we are very pleased with the outcome that was produced by that conference. The CEC Commission and staff is committed to delivering the preliminary staff assessment by the end of April, if not sooner. And that puts us on track to have final approval by 2025. So we're on track with what we want to do and when we want to be breaking ground. In other news, HydroStore's CFO and our board member is going to be in town next week, specifically on Tuesday. They're going to be at the Rosamond Community Services District building from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I want to invite anybody who wants to come to come. This is going to serve as an informal meet and greet, and there's going to be coffee and pastries, and it's just a good opportunity to meet some HydroStore leadership. And then lastly, on Monday, April 29th at 2 p.m., that is the Kern County Board of Supervisors evening meeting, and they're going to be discussing the Willow Rock Energy Storage Project. Specifically, they're going to be pulling an item off consent, and the item is going to focus on the county planning department's recommendation of conditional support for our project. And that conditional support is contingent on the conditions of approval that the county would like to see in the CEC preliminary staff assessment. So HydroStore has agreed to all that the county wants, which are focused on addressing community impacts and ensuring that the local concerns are met. So with all of this in mind, we would really appreciate if we could have a good community attendance at the event. There's going to be opportunity for public comment. To speak about the economic impact that this project is going to have on East Kern, on Rosamond specifically. So if you guys are interested, I can get you more information. I am working to try and figure out a virtual attendance situation because the meeting is in Bakersfield. So if we get that figured out, we'll be able to provide a public comment online, and then there's also an opportunity for written comment. So if you have any questions about that, come on and ask me. I've got business cards and I can get you connected.
When is that, man?
That's going to be April 29th. Yeah. Thank you guys. Who's next, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. When you mature, you take notes of people, so anyway. Rick Webb, a couple of different hats I wear. I'm a director of the Rosamond Community Services District, Red. And recently I joined Joe and Mr. Kelly at the RMAC. The important thing I tell everyone, you gotta do something. Whatever. She's been talking about the Historical Society for years, and we thought we had something, didn't work out, so let's keep supporting them all. Hydro Store, what can you say? They're like the James Brown Community Services. They're always doing something. Thank you. The Chamber, my first time here. Thank you guys for turning upward. And my hope is that I can help to help. Retired recently from law enforcement after 41 years. Thank you, whoever said that. But this community is unique. It's a working class community, and we're always working to get stuff done. And I would ask all of us to keep the energy going, bring it on, get people excited about it. Because with Hydro Store, U.S. Steel and Steel Company, this is right under our nose. Right literally under our nose. That was Air Force Base. So if you just look at that triangle, I mean, I don't know your dollar amounts and yours, but those are jobs for people in this community. And then we have waste management up the road there, doing stuff in the community. There's a lot going on in this little triangle. So we have to be the conduit to get the road. So thank you guys for having me here. I found out that one of my responsibilities is to be at the meeting, so I don't want to say I'm compelled to be here. I'm glad to be here. Fair enough? Thank you. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you, sir.
Kelly?
Who's next? You, Linda?
I can go.
Hello, I'm Amanda Stevenson. I'm the supervisor of the Kern County Library Rosamond branch right here in Rosamond. We are closed right now. Some people may know that. We are undergoing renovations. We were supposed to be opening June 3rd. Unfortunately, there were delays with the construction, as happens, and so our opening date has been pushed back to September 30th. This means that we will not be open over the summer, which is our biggest time of year. Yeah, so staff and I are still working to try and bring resources and things to the community while we're closed. We are holding programming off-site at Hummel Hall Community Center 2 days a week. We have every Tuesday over there, we have family story time. The first and third Tuesdays of the month, we have our sewing classes. The second and fourth Tuesdays of the month, we just added knitting. Based on talking to some of the seniors at the senior sections over there, that's the program that they wanted and that we could easily do over there. And then every second and fourth Wednesday, we're doing a craft program over at Hummel Hall. So we are trying to still hold some programs. What we can do over there is a little bit limited, but we're doing the best we can. We also offer express services outside the branch 2 days a week. So Thursdays from 1:30 to 5:30 and Saturdays 11 to 3. And what that is people can order books from other branches and they can have them sent to our branch, and so they can still pick up books. And they can still get services and resources such as the reading challenges. They can participate in those and get redemptions. We had Pages for Panda reading challenge where if they read so many books, they were able to get a certificate for a free Panda meal at Panda Express. We just finished the In and Out challenge, which is where if they read so many books, they could get a free gift certificate for a free cheeseburger or hamburger at In and Out. So we did have a lot of kids stop by and participate in that and redeem for that still. So that was great. We're hoping to still be able to do our summer reading program. It's the same kind of premise. So kids, teens, adults, it's open to everybody. If they read 10 books or for 10 hours, they're able to get some prizes. So we'll have our regular, we usually give out like a bag for the first 10 books or 10 hours with a bunch of goodies in it, and hopefully some stuff from the community. I know last year we had Foster Freeze step up and they gave us 100 coupons for free ice cream cones for the kids, so that was very much appreciated. I'm hoping that more community members will step up this year. I do go around to businesses and drop off letters and talk to people, so I'm hoping, if anybody wants to get involved in that, that would be great. Whether it's vouchers and coupons or whether you want to, donate funds or donate, things that we can give out as the major prizes, that would be helpful too. Last year we had major prizes. We offered a Nintendo Switch for the teens and Amazon Fire tablets for the kids and the adults. And they were entered as long as they, at least completed the 10 books or 10 hours of reading. They were eligible for that. So that's what we've got going on currently. We do still offer some of our services at the Express Services as well. So I don't know how many are aware, but Kern County Library partnered with Public Health a couple of years ago. And so we do give out free Narcan to anybody who wants to stop by and get some. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And thank you very much. And happy to be here. My first chamber meeting, I finally made it. So cool. Okay.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah, sure.
Most of you guys know me. My name's Amanda. I'm with the Rosamond Youth. Right now, we're busy because we're doing our graduation issue, which is, I don't know, most everybody gets it in Rosamond. It's the class of 2025, and all the seniors will be in it. And it does get mass mailed to every resident in Mojave and Rosamond. And this is the best time to congratulate the senior class, or to even put announcements in, because it won't get to everybody in Rosamond and Mojave.
And a big congratulations to you. Amanda and her family have fully taken over the paper, so it is now hers.
Thank you.
It's official.
Yeah.
All right, Liz, you want to your turn?
Okay, my name is Liz. I own my business out here. I decided to join the chamber because I want to be more involved out here. I hear all you guys, everything you guys do. I do try to help as much as I can out here. Gretchen could speak. I've known her for so long, and she's actually always encouraging me to join something. So I am going to try to be more involved. I do own 3 businesses out here, and I try to help out as much as I can. You guys may not hear it, I do, but silently I help out. Like you said about the pageant, I did help out little Girl Blossom, and it does go out a lot. I help a lot of those girls out, and same thing, I was not for it, but when I saw everything that they did, totally changed my look on the pageant. So I just decided I wanted to get more involved and hear more about what you guys have to do in here.
What's your business?
I own Bliss Hair Studio, 1-4 Gym, and I just opened up an event center. Yes, so we're just now starting the event center. It's really not officially all the way open, not till probably end of the year because we're trying to renovate it. But we do a lot of events in there, and we host a lot of parties. We do like celebrations and all that. So yeah.
It's here in Rosamond?
It is. I own behind Rite Aid. There's a 2.5 acres out there. That's mine. Yes. So yeah. I think that's it.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Frank with WM Waste Management. Good to see you all. Just recently, we sent out some letters to all the businesses here in Rosamond and Mojave. Some of you may have received them. It was regarding a commercial organics and recycling rollout. For those of you residents here, I'm sure you're all familiar with the organics and recycling stuff coming down the pipeline from the state. I know some of us want it, some of us don't want it, some of us want it sometimes or not on our tax roll, whatever. But now we're in commercial, and so businesses received a letter in February that they either needed to apply for a waiver exemption with the county, or they were going to receive the minimum level of service required by state law, which was a 96-gallon organics recycling cart and a 96-gallon regular commingled recycling cart. There was an added cost for that. So businesses had until a little after March to fill out the waiver application, And if they were approved a waiver, they didn't have to get that service. And if they didn't, they would automatically get it. So right now in Rosamond, this very week, for any of you that have businesses here in Rosamond, you should have received your organics and or your recycling cart this week. In Mojave, you will be rolled out next week. The organic cart is somewhere around $64 and change per month, and the recycling cart is picked up every other week, and that's $30 and some change per month. So just to kind of keep you updated on that. We did have our Mojave bulky waste collection event last week. There was a great turnout. Lots of people showed up. I don't have the tonnage right now, but I should have them. That one and the Rosamond tonnages next meeting. For those of you here in Rosamond, the collection event out here will be this Saturday at our Rosamond yard, and we will have the Cesar Chavez Environmental Corp. CCEC will be attending with us. They're partnered with us to collect all of the tires and electronic waste. So for those of you that may have some extra tires in the backyard or know some friends or neighbors, and you want to let them know, maybe they don't follow the chamber or they didn't see the flyers, let them know that this Saturday from 8 to 12, we will be having a bulky waste collection event. Bring all your extra trash. Bring up to 9 tires. Is it 9, Karen?
Yes.
Okay, bring up to 9 tires.
Yes, you can only transport 9 tires before you have to have a permit.
Yes, so bring those down and get rid of them. Clean up Rosamond. That's all I've got. And if you guys have any questions regarding that rollout, for those of you business owners, or you want information about the waivers, let me know and I'll be happy to point you in the right direction.
You have horrible timing, and they just Hi, I'm typically known nowadays as Shauna's husband. You usually can see me at community events carrying heavy things and yelling out instructions. I serve on the RMAC board with Joel and now Mr. Webb. I've kind of been taking a break over the last 6 or 7 months as I've recuperated from a interesting stage in my life where I will not be revisiting. That's running for office, if that's anyone's wondering. I'm not doing that anymore. So we're just kind of getting back into the groove of things. So anything you need help with, feel free to let me know. One of the things that I'm probably the best at in town is gathering consensus because my family's been here for so long and we know everybody. So that's something that a lot of people tend to reach out to me for is gathering consensus to get things done. Feel free to let me know anything you need. Thank you again. My name's Kelly, by the way, if I didn't say that.
No, you said Shauna's husband.
All right. What did you order?
And I am Shauna. I own 2 independent bookstores, new used bookstores. I have a location in Lancaster and I have my warehouse here where I do all my online sales, TikTok sales. I also am a substitute CSO at Tropico. And as of this week, I am a California notary. So on top of doing all of the chamber things, I have all of my jobs and I do the majority of the planning for events. I went through all of our vendors and curated a list. We have 274 vendors that I've collected since 2023. So our events this year should be pretty good, and I want to invite everybody to come out to an event that has a business, even if it's just for information, and give it to the community. Lester, who's our Red Cross, was at our Easter event, and he gave out tons of information, and he gave out appointments for smoke detectors and all kinds of things. So the community wants your information, so bring it to them.
I've been a vendor at one of the events, and it's good foot traffic, so even informational stuff is good.
Yes.
As a different business, not the newspaper, I do other things, so yeah, it's good. So come out.
Yeah, when Shauna says she did an Easter event, we've all gone to free events where, for instance, Easter is the best example where half the kids don't get any eggs. And every kid that left our event, their buckets were overflowing with eggs and candy.
My daughter picked up all the eggs with no candy, and I loved it because she just wanted the eggs. She just wanted the eggs. She was happy.
I fully believe Anderson, when he was doing it, because he was switching out the bags, he she took like a handful of them and just put them in the thing.
No, my daughter was happy with. I was happy too because there was no candy. I was like, we're good.
And we've already started planning our Christmas events too. So last year, our Christmas events, the vendors were only in the section of the chamber down, but we're extending it this year. It's all the way past Carl's for the vendors. So Eric graciously let us have his full plot right there because we were stuffing people in last year, last minute people coming in, and it was really good. And Desert Search and Rescue is going to be here, so there are security. They're going to be there the whole time. It's going to be really good. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Christian holiday. And with SB 1383, what kind of restrictions are they going, landfills statewide, going to have on acceptance of biosolids? And I'm talking about biosolids for sewage treatment plants when they create sludge. And I know that what it says about biosolids in the trash has to be separated. But the tradition has been that when a sewage treatment plant has their sludge, which is biosolids, they dry it, they take it to a landfill for disposal and burial. Sometimes it's used to apply on fertilizer for farming areas, things like that. But I've read 1383 and I can't find anything in there that specifically addresses the usual method of dealing with biosolids. And, being as we are in charge of the sewage treatment plant, we create biosolids every day. And biosolids accumulate, and for any sewage treatment plant, I mean, I retired from LA County Sanitation for 37 years, so it's something that we've always dealt with. We would have trucks come in with LA County because they produce so much more, load them in the trucks, they would take them wherever, and sometimes they take them wherever. The Carson plant that I worked at for years, we had a truck loading station where they would take about, each truck would take about 80 tons directly to the point of the landfill. So at 1383, the restriction of biosolids and the greenhouse methane gas that they produce, what's going to happen with that, with every sewage treatment facility in Kern County that produces biosolids? You know, I can't find it in the wording in there on how, you gotta take it somewhere, but because 1383 is statewide, is any landfill in the state going to allow the acceptance of biosolids?
That's a really great question, and I do not have an answer for you right now, and I'm sure that Frank might be able to chime in with this.
But it's not really
I'm
my.
Googling.
I know.
And I waited until everybody was almost done eating before I brought it up.
Yeah. It's not really my wheelhouse either. I don't really deal with the operations or the landfill or environmental aspects of things. By biosolids, is that like what's left over at the wastewater plant?
Everything goes into the sewers. We all know it goes into the sewers without a bunch of explanation.
Yeah.
But basically, all the solids in your sewer system, that creates your biosolid. That's your sludge. It becomes sludge inside the sewer.
Yeah. I did recently watch a video about that I was trying to learn a little bit more about like leachate in the landfill, and I remember speaking with you at the public meeting at the hall, and you shared your expertise with me and your experience you worked in a landfill, right?
Well, I work in water. I've always worked in water reclamation sewage treatment.
Okay, yeah. So in the video, there was a lot of information about what's left over, like the pipes pump all the leachate and everything to another wheelhouse, and that extra leftover is trash from what I watched.
Right. Well, what is leachate is is a product that is decomposition of trash. It creates a liquid waste as part of the decomposition. So that's solid waste. That's completely different. Where your sewer is a treatment plant, and during that treatment plant is that while you're trying to clean the water up, you have to clean the organic matter out of it, and that's what's left over is bio.
Without knowing for sure, because I haven't asked that specific question, I would say that that's just landfill. That's trash. Nothing's being done with that, and there's no specific way to move that, or it's not required that it gets composted, or if that answers your question. But I did write it down, and I'll leave you my card, or maybe you can give me a call, and I'll get you what my answer when I find out. Yeah.
Can I make a comment? Good topic, bad timing on the topic. Keep reading. I mean,
Did you order with her?
you guys maybe get together, but I don't think that this is talking about leachings and flows and people trying to consume. That's just me. So, anyway, food for thought.
You're good.